But we actually had no. Let me just go back on here. So a BuzzFeed guy trains to he tries to fight. He tries to BuzzFeed have these articles or these videos they do where someone tries to do something in a short space of time. There's this mad one where a BuzzFeed editor, like somebody that's not very aggressive or is not very physically or athletically gifted, decided to do 3 months training to fight a real MMA fight. That title alone got me. The thumbnail got me. I clicked it straight away. And what I was kind of shown, number one, I love the guy in the video, right? He fucking smashed it. Credit to the dude. Like, that takes the biggest amount of balls. I can't emphasize enough how difficult or how much courage it takes to sign up to go to a martial arts or a combat sports class, let alone to sign up to fight somebody professionally. It takes so much balls that you won't know how long it took me to sign up for 5 Groupon classes to do kickboxing. It took me ages, maybe a couple of months, to finally get the courage to do kickboxing. And I don't think myself as a wimp or as a pussy or as a wallflower. You know, I think of myself as somebody quite, I can stand up for myself and stuff, but it took me 2 months to plug up the courage, right? To grow a pair of big boy balls, to pull up my trousers and decide to go to do a 5-day, 5 classes of fucking taekwondo. Of kickboxing, right? In a Fitness First somewhere near Liverpool Street, right? Not even in a proper, like, martial arts gym where it's like covered in, martial arts posters and there's always aggressive dudes. I was like, no, just in a standard Fitness First in a little studio. It took me 2 months to do it. 2 months, not 5 months, 2, maybe 5, who knows? But anyway, it took me a while to get. So for this dude that's sitting in a desk shop somewhere writing BuzzFeed articles to decide to do a combat sport, is amazing. But also it goes to show just how careful you have to be about how you speak about your dreams, who you surround yourself with, because for the most part, this world is full of so many naysayers, so many people don't know jack shit, who just speak from no experience. And there's a thing now there, because of social media, because that social media basically allows everyone to have a voice. So I think that maybe is the reason why it's propagated or put up on a pedestal, this idea of people having very strong opinions with very little experience what they're talking about, right? I heard someone say the phrase wrong and strong, right? But there's this idea that people just want to speak about things and just be, he can't do this, she can't do that, and you have no experience, they have nothing to gauge it on, right? What do you have to gauge it on though? Like, you have no practitioner experience yourself, you don't know anything, just like splurting out something for the sake of it. And effectively, this guy decides to train 3 months of MMA against a ridiculous notion. It's not going to work out for him. It's a crazy idea, but he decides to do it just for your own self. Sometimes you want to do stuff just so you can prove to yourself that you can do it. It doesn't matter if you get knocked out or you get put to sleep like this dude at the end of it. The fact that you did it just tells you, wow, I did this thing in 3 months. I lost this man away. Look how strong I got. Like, for instance, he got knocked out in this fight, right? He got put to sleep by this guy in a guillotine choke. But by and large, right, he can probably still fuck up most people. That's the thing, right? It's not about, martial arts isn't about that thing about starting fights and stuff. It's about self-defense. But the fact of the matter is, his 3 months of training allows him to still be more confident than probably 60% of the kind of population out there. And most of the time, when you get into street fights or people get into some sort of physical altercation, all that kind of posturing, shouting comes out of it. But really and truly, if you know what you're doing, you're more likely to avoid the situation anyway and kind of like duck out, because you don't want it to go left, and you don't know what that guy has in his pocket or his bag, or whatever. But for the most part, if you know how to handle yourself, that calmness, people can see it and they can tell straight from the first punch. You only have to watch a couple of world-style hip hop videos to see that if one person doesn't have to fight, the other person realizes it straight away after one hit, because that hit is precise. It's not like a half a fist on top of the head or like a scuffed shoulder. It's a proper fist inside of her face. They're like, oh, whoa. They've realized straight away. So this guy has done the damn job. But look at how disparaging and look at how negative his fucking colleagues are. People that he thinks that are, and again, we all work in workplaces where we think people are your friends, but they're not really. You just work with them. But look how disparaging they speak about this guy, right? That's trying, again, just a standard dude from the office, trying to make some content for his company, helping out them get clicks and views. Probably gonna, BuzzFeed had to lay off tons of people recently, right? This video could potentially help them get more sponsors. It could potentially help the company stay alive, right? Loads of things are into this thing, but look how disparagingly his friends or his colleagues talk about him with his challenge, dude, right? Let's see. And he's a super chill dude as well for the most part. But here, look how his colleagues talk about him. I get a video up on here now. This is BuzzFeed article, right?
And we're gonna see in that moment whether he still wants to do this or not.
So the videographer saying, if you listen to a podcast, is asking his colleagues who have been interviewed prior about, giving some background color on who this guy is. They're asking, do you think Arya has it in him, right? To legitimately fight someone. Why not? Here's what I say. Laughing.
I love you, Arya, but no.
Look at this guy with his fucking backwards hat and his stupid mustache laughing at somebody else, like deciding, right, to put up the courage to go and fight. And he's laughing. Do you think he could ever... That's the thing, sometimes you realize, sometimes like, I think Brian Kai says a lot, right? Some things you can't fake. Fighting, being good at sex and being funny, right? Like, you just can't fake certain things. Like, there must come a point in time in a man's life where you realize, you know what? If this guy went to fuck me in the ass, he could. He actually could fuck me in the ass because he can beat me up and just do whatever he wants to my body. That has to be a humbling experience. So for someone to take the courage to try and learn how to protect themselves and the people they love around them, you have to kind of hold your hands up. Even if he's going to get smashed. That takes guts because you can't do it. You're not going to put down your fucking food truck taco and go and train. You won't do that, will you?
I love you.
What a knob. No. What a knob.
Could he fight? I don't think so. I'm just going to say no. I'm just going to go ahead and say no. I don't think he can fight someone.
He's too nice. I think that he's going to lose. I know that he's going to lose.
He's probably one of the softest people I know.
The girls I don't care about because girls have the wrong. They don't really have to judge kind of physical combat. It doesn't really something that comes into them, naturally in that regard. That physical altercation is not really a thing that happens a lot with women. It's mostly kind of reputation damage and stuff. So I don't really take that too thing image again. Sometimes girls have to be spicy for sake of it, but the dudes should know, man. You know how much courage it takes to fucking learn how to fight. Like it takes a lot of courage. That because when you get punched in the face for the first time, that accusation that happens so easily, so regularly, like I did, right? I kept getting clipped in the face by my instructor because I wasn't putting my hands up properly, right? And that idea, like, wow, this is happening all the time. So if I was fighting somebody and I decided to throw hands, they could just jab me from a distance, right, repeatedly, and I wouldn't get nowhere near them, right? As I'm trying to play, like nowhere. They could do what they want with my wife and children. They could take my house, steal my bike. Right? Run away with my fucking clothes and my trainers. They could do what they wanted. Take all my books. They could do what they wanted. So the dude, it takes up so much courage to do it. So for dudes to be disparaging about it, it's like, come on, guy. You know how much courage it takes to do.
I honestly feel like he's just gonna go into the match and get hit like a couple times and be like, okay, that's cool. That's enough for the video.
Every time he throws a punch, he's gonna apologize.
this dude, the mustache is a donkey, isn't it?
I think it might be a waste of time, mostly.
Imagine this to your friends, right? And they're telling you that you pursuing your dream or pursuing something that you're interested in is a waste of time. Why is it a waste of time? You know how everyone had a band in school, or everyone tried to MC, or everyone tried to sing? That isn't a waste of time. You did something that you enjoyed at that period of time in your life that brought you a lot of joy. It allowed you to learn a new skill. It allowed you to understand how to make a fucking album cover on Paint. It allowed you to make an album cover on PowerPoint or a cracked version of Photoshop. It allowed you how to understand how music streaming works, upload it onto a streaming platform to maybe monetize it. It allowed you to maybe make a really janky music video on your smartphone. It allowed you to maybe send it out or put it on the forums or share it on social media, create a little profile for yourself, even if it's a secret one, hide your identity like Party Next Door. It allowed you to do all these little cool things on the side, even if it results in 0 plays. No one pays attention to it. That exercise alone is so gratifying, right? The fact that you did it. Because when you're older, you have a story to tell. You could tell your kid, hey, I used to have a band. I used to have a shitty mixtape I put out. Look at this band I had back in the day. Look at it. That makes you an interesting person. Everyone always talks about, when Ricky Gervais comes on the program, they always go on about that image of him. I think he was in a band back in the day, right, that didn't do well, that got signed. And, he's got a really good story about how they got signed and they spunked all the money up the wall. And, this is Ricky Gervais. But that's a real interesting part of his story. He's got his really cringy press shots that he took of the whole thing when he was enjoying himself in that kind of situation. But that's a really important part of his life that kind of added to his kind of journey, right? Or helped make the person that he is nowadays. That part of the story. So for your friend to tell you what you're doing is a waste of time, even if it is a waste of time, it's crazy because it's not a waste of time. Because it's going to add an interesting path to your story. Because who wants to just wake up? Who wants to, if they've got something in them? If they've got some kind of spark, some divinity, some kind of idea, some kind of feeling that they could be doing more with themselves, right? Who would want to live a life of just going into work and coming home? Who would want to do that? If you can do a tiny thing on the side, knitting, playing the ukulele, DJing, reading books, annotating things, talking on a YouTube channel like myself with 10 listeners, whatever it may be. Who would not want to do that? That was what makes life more exciting. Someone to tell you it's a waste of time is insane. It's not a waste of time. It's a waste of time going to a bar every Friday and drinking the same beverage or talking about the same shit you talk about, but people still do that. That's why I never get the idea. Like, I always need to think to myself, like, there are certain things that get propped up on social, like, you know, the idea that you're going out to a festival to whatever and you're wasting your money or do whatever, you're having a good time. But the moment you try and do something a bit difficult, a bit out of the blue, you know, I always say the moment you decide to do you decide to go on a diet and you tell everyone, suddenly all these dietitians in your fucking follower feed start popping up and telling you that, oh, this ain't good, this ain't healthy for you. Like, shut the fuck up. Let me do it. Let me just fail in my ass and figure it out myself and go on it, because you're not doing it. You're not deciding to discipline yourself and stop yourself from enjoying all these mouth pleasures every single day of the week. You're not. I am. For 7 days or 5 days of the week, I'm deciding to go keto. I'm deciding to fast 16 hours a day. It doesn't matter if it's not healthy and you don't think it's a good idea to do. Let me do it, and then let's go from there. But again, this is kind of the common debate between practitioners and spectators, right? Sitting on the sidelines and actually being on the field. Even if you're on the bench, right? Even if you're on a fucking stand, it's better. It's better than standing there and criticizing. Just an amazing point of view. And imagine these are his colleagues. It's a waste of time. How is it a waste of time? He's probably the talk of the fucking office this whole time he's been doing. So it's not a waste of time because they've got something to talk about. Apart from talking about the same old things, they're talking about Trump, whatever else they talk about in the offices and pay and whoever they hate. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's actually making your lives more interesting by doing something interesting for himself. Like, a waste of time. Mamma mia. Anyways, continue. But anyway, that was basically, you know what? Yeah, 10 weeks of fight.
There's an underdog within you that is trying to prove something.
I really recommend you check it out. I'm gonna mute it for now, but you know, it really goes through a lot of good things. And yeah, like I said, in the end, he gets choked out by guillotine choke by the guy who's been fighting professionally for like a year or something. So it's not even a fair contest. But again, he did it. He did it. He fucking did it, man. He fucking did it. And I'm really proud of the dude. Well done for doing it and kind of, again, putting yourself out there. Because, again, that's the thing that most people don't do. Most people live lives of quiet desperation, right? What is that, Theodore Roosevelt? What's that quote by? Is it Theodore Roosevelt? Most men live quiet. Or is it my guy? Most men live lives of quiet desperation, right? This is a really... Henry David Thoreau, yeah? Very, 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 very good quote. See if I can get up on here and show you guys, because this kind of really kind of summed up kind of how I feel about some people that, you know, are so quick to kind of point out people's misgivings and talk shit, right? What's that New York Times? Oh, I don't want to go away. These dumb people talk about it. They just don't go on Goodreads. Where's Goodreads up there? The mass of men lives lives of quiet desperations. Yeah. So this is the quote. You have to go 3 links down just to find the quote itself. Someone's always writing some janky article about it. But anyway, this is the quote from Theodore Roosevelt, right? That kind of personifies everything I'm speaking about here, right? This is from Goodreads. This is from the book. What's the book from? From Henry David. Is it? Oh, it's from Walden. I actually have Walden here. So this says the following. Henry David Thoreau quote from Walden. The mass of men live lives of quiet desperation. What is called resignation is confirmed desperation. From the desperate city, you go into the desperate country and have to console yourself with the bravery of minks and muskets. A stereotyped but unconscious despair is concealed even under what are called the games and amusements of mankind. There is no play in them, for this comes after work, but it's a characteristic of wisdom to not do desperate things, right? And that's what it is. The mass of men live lives of quiet desperation, right? They're just there in their cubicles, sad about life, you know, bemoaning everything. And then when someone else tries to do something different, tries to be a bit out of the blue, out of the box and try and, you know, break the mold and try and break the fourth wall. Oh, you're wasting your time. Get out of here, man. Oh yeah, have you ever noticed that Henry David Thoreau has a kind of like, or Davido has a kind of Henry David Thoreau kind of beard, that kind of weird beard that kind of just, you know, don't have any facial at the top, just around. You know? Davido has that kind of beard. Anyway, recommend you check it out. Henry David Thoreau, one of my favorite authors. Walden as well is an amazing book. I've read that a couple of times now. It's very small as well. Small book, probably about 100 pages, maybe less. Recommend you check it out. Very, very cool book. And again, the video is called I Trained to Become an MMA Fighter in 4 months.